AutoDXF is an add-in for Autodesk Inventor. It's used for batch creation and exporting of sheet metal flat patterns from entire assembly in few easy steps. It also offers many additional handy features to make handling of sheet metal parts and their flat patterns easier and faster. Let's see how AutoDXF works in this quick presentation. To run the program, click AutoDXF command in Tool ribbon in Assembly environment. After first run, you'll want to set up the program to your requirements. Most settings are done in Settings tab. First, define folder for saving exported flat patterns. It can be the same as original IPT file location or some other folder. Exported files can be automatically sorted in separate folders according to their thickness by checking this option. You can customize the file naming in this area. Selected properties will be included in file name. You can drag and drop to reorder them. You can also change the prefixes and set the divider between the properties. DXF texts are used to add text to DXF files. The text is placed on separate layer in the center of flat pattern and can be used for easier identification of the parts in production process. The content can be customized in the same way as file naming by selecting and reordering the properties. You can also define how to process geometry of the flat pattern and flat pattern settings frame. Profiles can be combined into polylines, spline curves replaced with linear segments with specified tolerance, and all the geometry can be placed in such way that all the coordinates are positive. Bend line length check is used to identify the parts that have a bend longer than predefined maximum length. This can be useful to filter out the parts that cannot be produced on a specific bending machine because of their size. AutoDXF can also detect threads and put them on a specific layer. Points can be created on the centers of the threaded holes too. All the settings you make are automatically saved for future use. In Layers tab, you can define which layers should be included, their names, line types and colors. Different layer configurations can be saved and reloaded for quicker use. Let's switch back to Find Sheet Metals Parts tab. The look of the table can be customized by right-clicking and selecting the columns you want to use. Columns can also be reordered and resized. It's also possible to add new custom I properties using this button. Adding a new I property adds it as a column to the list and also as a parameter for file naming and building DXF texts. Let's find all the sheet metal parts in our model by clicking this button. We get a list of all the sheet metal parts and information about them and their flat patterns. If the flat patterns don't exist yet, you can create them manually by right-clicking on a row and selecting Create Flat Pattern. If you wish to create them automatically for all the components, check this option before searching. Flat pattern previews can also be generated manually using right-click or automatically for all the components. To flip the flat pattern or rotate it in a specific direction, use one of the commands on the right-click menu. Let's flip this flat pattern, rotate it along the longest bend and then rotate it for 90 degrees. The flat pattern preview and flat pattern length and width automatically update during those operations. Now you can export the selected components to DXF or DWG files for use on CNC cutting machine or to Word document to use as additional documentation for production. Click Export to Word command, select the format and data you need and click OK. The Word document is now being created. After it's finished, you can open it, edit if necessary and save it. Let's finally export the DXF files by clicking Export command. You can see the progress of the operation in the status bar. As you can see, using AutoDXF you can quickly prepare and produce large number of flat pattern DXF or DWG files required for CNC production. You can get detailed information about entire functionality of AutoDXF by clicking Help button. AutoDXF version 4 works with Autodesk Inventor 2018, 2019 and 2020. Version 2 is available for Inventor version from 2015 to 2017. Please visit www.basic.c/AutoDXF for more details, downloading a free demo version or purchasing a full version of AutoDXF.